All right. Hello and welcome everyone to this episode of Boomer and Degen. I'm your host Biz, coming at you live with co-founder Andy. But before we get started, we are transitioning primarily onto YouTube. And before we get right into it, I just want to make sure that um, the retweets are being shared through Crypto Hub HQ. So I'm going to go to um, my account. I'm just going to retweet it real quick. Um, Andy, is sound coming in loud and clear?
Sound is fine. I'm just going to post on to the new B Sky. We are live on YouTube. Shit, I might have missed that trade. Yeah,
Ave, Ave. I don't know if you
yeah,
saw it, but the world what is it? The World Liberty Financial, the Trump, they're holding a basket of assets that all got leaked. I don't know if it's a leak or not, but anyways, it's all there. It's all public information. Of course, his account was hurting quite a bit, but
yeah,
Ave was one of them. That was in his
yeah. Right.
portfolio. Yeah.
Well, let's just get into it. Let's just try get into it. I'm just gonna da, 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 da. Okay. So not a lot to show again. This is until we start getting some traction. We're not going to see much movement here. Um, so that's not the point. So let's get to Bitcoin. What the hell is happening? Exactly what I predicted, really. Right.
Yeah.
So
Well,
we
let's just mention that before we left the stream, you pointed out that there was a gap. Uh,
yes. So
yes.
if I go to a new tab and then allow me to go to my do you mean the gap in Bitcoin?
Yeah, 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 yeah. You mentioned that although it came down during the last drop, it didn't
Yes,
mitigate that gap. Like it was still
right.
there
So
on
you
the
see the
on the
CME
few.
gap
Yeah.
here, right? You see the CME gap here. We went down to this level, but we didn't mitigate this fair value gap here, which would be filling this CME gap. So there is more downside. I think actually, most people are now beginning to realize, yep, there's more downside. And what you can do is trade the little what's the right word I'm looking for? I'm not saying pumps, but the little reliefs, the
Oh,
relief.
relief rallies. Yeah.
Yeah, right. So because today we're up sort of 2%, but we were yesterday a little bit, and then we went down. So
Mm-hmm.
whether we get a relief today, what is that? Oh, that's a trend line.
If that breaks,
Um,
though, we're gonna get capitulation 100%.
oh yeah, we're going down to what the fuck. I mean, there's no
Damn.
doubt. There's no doubt about it. And again, whether we go up, down, up, down, up, down, but we're going down. And I hope I'm wrong, but so far, everything that we've shown shows you that we're not done with this drop yet.
Mm-hmm.
As traders, you've just got to trade that price action, right? And right now, for instance, I've been looking at there's a trade here that I've been waiting to enter, which because you're an hour early, I was trying to enter before we got in. But as you can see, it's following Bitcoin, and there comes a point where it stops following Bitcoin
Mm-hmm.
uh, because it needs that natural pullback, which is that kind of where we're at within RV. Um, but if but we're already above the trend line by quite some way, and so I was kind of waiting. I'm very tempted to take it, but in any way, I'm going to wait till after the stream.
Mm-hmm.
If it's gone, I blame you.
Okay. Well, you know what? Blame the daylight time savings. I mean, I'm surprised it's not a global um thing.
No, we don't have any time changes here in Thailand. We do in England.
Mm.
And therefore, I lose track of when you guys are changing your times. I've never understood in England why they do these time changes. Sorry, I've got a hair
Yeah.
on my face, which is annoying the crap out of me. I've never understood why we do them. In the olden days, it was to do with farmers, having a bit more light for farmers and stuff. But that's before we had lights.
Yeah.
Things like
Apparently, it
that.
had to do with the energy and the energy consumption.
Yeah,
And so,
probably.
yeah. And so you'd want, if it was getting bright early, then it wouldn't make sense. And so that's why they would bring it back.
Mm. But anyway, um, let's have a quick bob around here. This is still at 24, but the
Yeah.
surprise to me when I saw this today is this. This is down to extreme fear. If you
Interesting.
go to the, on CoinMarketCap, and I do think it's quite um, accurate, that we are in extreme fear.
Hmm.
And this one's gone up a right little bit, the stock market. But to be fair, there's still so much uncertainty and doubt over what's going on with the United States, right?
Yeah.
There's a theory. I was watching something where there was a theory as to why Trump is tanking the market, right? It's a
Hmm.
kind of deliberate act,
Okay.
and not somebody said, they've got this $7 trillion deficit or
Yeah.
whatever,
Yeah.
and he's
Absolutely.
trying to tank the markets, which would lower interest rates, which means then they could do something else to do something else, which would then lower the deficit.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, in the meantime, millions of people suffer. Now, I suspect, you know, uh, I suspect there's going to come a point, and I've said this for a very long time. We need not just a recession, but a proper crash,
Hmm.
because the whole world is run on debt.
Yeah.
And so at some point, you've got to pay the piper. And unfortunately, therefore, one generation is going to have to suffer to pay
Yeah.
the piper. And
So
I think,
are you suggesting that basically the tariffs was inevitable because the collapse of the dollar was inevitable?
well, I think the tariffs are just a mechanism to bring uncertainty and doubt. Because what he's doing is, here's all these tariffs because I'm a strong man. Okay, I'm going to take them off because I'm a strong man. Oh, I'm going to. I mean, he actually on an interview was asked, "Is there going to be a recession?" And he said, sort of, I don't like to say if there is or there isn't, but if there is, it's Biden's fault, all right? And even though he inherited a pretty good economy in the States, actually,
Well, I mean, the
it was,
debt was massive. That's
oh,
for
yes, the
sure.
debt, but the economy in itself was outperforming the G7, right? The
Yeah.
US economy was doing better than anybody, but not anymore. But, we'll have to wait and see. But
Hmm.
oh, I think Harvey's gone back up to my entry. Um, but anyway, so there's some theories that that's partly why he's tanking it. The other theory is a cynical one, and I tend to be a cynical, as we say in England, a cynical old git, um, that he's tanking it for his own benefit. You know,
Okay.
I mean, what is interesting is that the crypto summit was a complete nothing burger,
Yeah,
right?
pretty much.
I mean, an absolute not the whole kind of sell the news was like played out on that one because nothing happened. Like I think people were but well, people use clickbait on their YouTube
Yeah.
videos, right? Crypto summit, take us to the moon, And me, I am a realist, and I trade as a realist, and I look at the charts as a realist. I'm not a degen who wants to just shoot everything to the moon. That is impossible, right?
Hmm.
I mean, you could just look at RB, look at this. Oh my God, it's going to the moon. But we know it's going to retrace. We just know, right?
Hmm.
As traders, you can check the price action and go, that's going to retrace. I mean, oddly enough, Rune is another one that is looking to come up to a retracement. Sol V, actually, I missed this morning. I was so annoyed.
Yeah.
It literally pinged into my entry at 9:50.
Uh, the funny thing about Sol V is that it tends to gets rejected on the downtrend quite often.
Solvi is definitely not following Bitcoin,
Hmm.
right? And although it's stopped coming into our alerts only because it's probably above 0.2, right? If I raised it to 0.3, it'd probably come in all the time. But it's definitely not following Bitcoin, and I like that. and I would have had a 3.6% trade now in that. I just took my eye off it. It never, I don't know if I went out for a cigarette or whatever, but you see it just pinged in to my entry here,
Hmm.
which was on a POC. And in fact, it's just set off an alert now as going above this trend line because there's a chance it could go down. Saying that, this could be a major reversal in Sol V. If I go back to say the 15-minute, this could be the one where it's going to head back up to the larger trend line, right back up to this kind of resistance line back up here. But we'll see. But I missed that one today. Rune was one that I think I traded over the weekend. But yes, I'm just waiting for it to come back into here. Very patient approach to trading, right? But as you can see now, Aave, because Bitcoin it's kind of starting to go against Bitcoin, which is what I want, because I want that reversal. Right?
Hmm.
I want that reversal. But so what I want to do today, Biz, is oh, my chair's not tipping back. I must have changed something. What I want to do today, Biz, do you remember that I wrote that spreadsheet that showed you about
Yeah, the time
like
zones and yeah.
$500, and I told you I was going to
Oh
trade
yeah,
with
yeah, yeah.
that.
That's right. That's right.
Right. Okay. So let me move on to that because here is the spreadsheet.
Hmm.
I took some money out of the Bing X because I sent it to another exchange to get some bonuses and all that kind of stuff. So I didn't actually start with 500 when I started on Thursday trading this system.
Hmm.
I started with 887. But as of yesterday, for 4 days, I'm 21.87% up on that 887. I'm now sat at 8081,
Hmm.
right? And it was very interesting because I did 6.88 on the first day, 3.48 on the second day, 8.86 on the third day, and yesterday only 1.22. And the reason for that, it was what happened is my first trade on almost each day was a losing trade. I was either stopped out when I'd raised my stop a little, or I was stopped out in a loss, or I was stopped out in a very small profit, like
Hmm.
$3, or like just enough to cover slippage and fees type thing.
Yeah.
And then I did better later in the day. But yesterday, I was actually down. If I do this, I was actually down 9.27% by about 4 p.m. in the afternoon. I'd had a terrible day of like three losing trades.
Hmm.
And then I got Move. And if I can go to Move, is it still in here? I probably still got the trade in there. Right. So Move came in right at the right time. Yeah,
Hmm.
like 4:35, 5 o'clock.
Hmm.
And I tend to stop trading at 5:30. Right, that's it. I'm done. So my stop starts up at the top here,
Hmm.
and it went down here, and I just aggressively moved my stop.
Yeah.
And at that, because Bitcoin was going down, but then it reversed, and I got stopped out with, and it took me to recover all the $100 and give me $13 of profit on that.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah, so it was a successful day, but I didn't earn the whatever it was,
The
50 some
5%.
dollars.
Yeah.
Yeah. But in any event, over 4 days, using this trading approach, I've got 21.87. I'll let you know once or twice during the trades how I'm getting on with it, but it does seem to work, right?
Hmm.
And imagine if you went to a bank and they gave you nearly
Oh, that's
22%.
true. That's true.
You would be very, very happy, right? So this is a very conservative approach using actually 6x leverage.
Hmm.
I'm going to keep you posted because I deliberately wanted a small amount, so you can't trade with large amounts to start, right? And so I started with 887, and there I am now with 8081. And I am happy to show that in my exchange, which is there, 8081, there in my exchange. And as you can see, I've got the Aave trade already set up, ready to rock, which is what I was going to do. So I can start showing this now live on BingX and showing you the kind of trade histories that I've had, right?
Hmm.
So lost 21, lost 27. I was getting the shit kicked out of me. Slight profit there, lost there. It was just a shit day, right?
Yeah.
It was just a shit day, except for that one where you actually the fees on Bing X are quite big actually, but yes, that was a 22.89% win, and I got stopped out at something like 1727 or something like that. So was it that where it was? Oh no, it was after. No, that it came back up, bang, bang.
Yeah, probably right
It
there.
was, yeah, 1740, something like that. So perfect. It was like, there you go. I'm out.
Hmm.
So anyway, I'll keep you posted and I'll show these live trades.
So
And today
the
I'm
lower
looking.
lower leverage like 6x, going conservative like that, what do you find that's better with that approach?
You can have a larger stop loss,
Okay.
right? And obviously your profits aren't as high as going 10, 20x,
Yeah.
right? But the theory goes like this, right? Once let me go back to my spreadsheet. Let's assume I do 30 days using 6x leverage, it's around a 0.8 to 1% stop loss, right? So 5% in total with the leverage, roughly.
Mm-hmm.
Roughly, it depends, right? Because I do a proper trade setup, so sometimes it's slightly bigger, sometimes it's slightly smaller. If that works, if it turns out that consistently gives you
The
profits,
5%, whatever. Yeah.
whatever it is,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
can go to 10x, you can go to 20x and still have the 1%, can't you? Because you've proven that the strategy works.
Ah, gotcha. So instead of going big and then scaling down, go small and scale up.
Once because you don't feel bad about losing whatever it is,
No. Yeah.
$22 in a stop loss, right?
Yeah.
Whereas if it was $120 in a stop loss, you might be,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But once you've proven it and you've got accustomed to trading it over and over, I've done so many trades over the weekend, once you've got that and the way learning how to the relationship between the coin you're trading and Bitcoin and how to raise your stops, not to be too aggressive, or if it's later in the day, be aggressive if you want to stop trading, and you've got one open trade,
Mm-hmm.
put your stop away. If it comes up to that, I'm happy with that profit, right?
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter then what leverage you use, as long as you don't go crazy, right, and get liquidated. But if you went up to 10x,
I mean, it's
15x,
really hard to get liquidated at 6x.
impossible. Yeah. Impossible, yeah. But at the same time, I always use those stop losses. And of course, there are times when it takes you out and then shoot. If you're going short, it comes back up, takes you out, and goes back down. Right?
Yeah.
Of course, there are times like that. But that's why I watch my trades, and once it's gone down 1% in profit, I've moved my stop to just into a profit to cover fees and slippage.
Yeah.
So I've taken out effectively flat, right,
Yeah.
zero. And then I just set alerts, and then as it hits them, I raise my stop. Let's assume we're going long. I raise my stop, and another alert, I raise my stop, right? Eventually, it retraces, and you get stopped out, and that's the profit you've got, right? But I tend not to let trades run. I've not tried the trailing stop yet on Bing X, but I might. But anyway, this is what I'm doing. I should have had more than 21. I should have had about 25% profit, but by now. But anyway, you're gonna get bad days. And what's interesting is I had 3 losing trades in a row yesterday.
Yeah.
What you cannot do is doubt at that point, right? Because if let's assume that this trading strategy was 70% successful, 80% successful, that means in every 100 trades you're going to get 20 or 30 losing trades. Now, if you just happen to have 5 in a row out of that 100, they just happen to be 5 losing trades. It's just statistically still working, right?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
this is why gathering data like this to show that you can constantly make a profit, then you can start changing your leverage.
Yeah.
But as you can see down here, 887, if this continues in 30 days, it'll be 3,084.
It's interesting that you brought that up, because in sales it's the same thing. The guy who did the flyers, he goes, well, doesn't that work? Does that even still work, doing the flyers things? He goes, surely it doesn't work. He goes, well, how many did you do? He goes, like 500. He's like,
yeah.
I did 5,000 and it converts.
Yeah.
And he's like,
yeah.
Oh, so he's not doing it enough, because the conversion rate may be like 5%. But
But that's the thing. Yeah.
you may not even hit 5% on 500.
No, that's right. I mean, it's the same as when you do online advertising. There's a thing called the CTR, click-through rate,
Yeah,
right? Well, every time someone sees a banner, only say 3% of people click through.
yeah,
And of those 3% people that click through, only 1% buy.
yeah,
That's conversion. That's
yeah,
conversion
yeah,
rate. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
So you work. So you have to do the math
yeah,
and say, well, what's the scale I need to operate at
yeah,
to make money at this, right?
exactly.
And it's the same as this. So once you're happy with 6x and you know that this strategy is working overall, you're getting 80%, 75, 80% success, you can go to 10x.
Mhm.
And that means your stop loss will be like $50 or $100 as opposed to 25, 22. I think actually on the Bing X one here, you can see here that this Aave trade, if I took it, the stop would be 21. But in reality, with slippage and costs, that's 25, right? But the profit, if it gets to the profit target, and I always like to set one so I can move it, right? But that'd be $143. Well, that would be your $54 for the day easy, right? In
Mhm.
fact, halfway to that, you'd have done your money for that. So, so this having a target like this, rather than assuming every single trade's going to shoot you to the moon, pay your rent or whatever it is a crazy approach. So I just adapted this to work for me, and I managed to get Excel into complete dark mode. Do you know you have to you can't say put the table here, the cells, I can't have a dark background. You have to have the background as an image.
Oh my
so,
goodness.
so I did an image exactly
Yeah.
the same color as my dark mode on my Mac. I just went to Photoshop and took a
Yeah.
screenshot of the color.
And then you
So
replace the, yeah, okay.
the image is a blank uh, gray image.
Yeah. There you go.
Crazy.
There you
Yeah,
go.
but now it
There's
means I can.
that. That's a life hack.
Yeah, no, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. But I couldn't find a way of making saying just give me the cell background as black everywhere, that as default. No. So anyway, market wise, I think more pain. And oddly enough, let me go to here because S&P 500. If I go to the
That looks
weekly,
hideous. Oh my
yeah,
goodness.
I think we're coming down more on the S&P, maybe even down to this fair value gap down here
Uh-huh.
on the week. Um, so that because there's just so much uncertainty in the markets now,
Uh-huh.
and this could be a very clever long-term idea. I now know that everybody's going to feel pain, but ultimately by the end of my 4 years in power, the economy will be good. I don't know.
Hmm.
I'm not sure his voters thought about that. It was more about I'm going to lower your costs for everything, right? That's all that's I'll buy into that.
Hmm.
But everybody else knew that that was impossible, right? So maybe there's some method in the madness. I don't know. Right now, I'm not sure. Um, I've just been watching an interesting video, actually, completely unrelated. Is it still on here? Um, let, let me just mute this. Turns out that London are going absolutely crazy against Elon Musk. Hang on a sec. Let me see if I can find it. It makes me laugh out loud. Like this. Goes to the swastika goes from 0 to 1939 in 3 seconds.
Oh wow.
And this is the
Are
British
they
humor.
they're linking him to the Great Depression now?
Well, I mean, he went on the far right. He tried to push the far right Germany party, didn't he? He went to their conference. This is him at their conference. They're the closest to like Nazis since the Nazis. So Elon Musk just helped far right Germany. So it was like, what did it say here? Um, so don't buy his fucking cars. This is how the English are dealing with Elon Musk. So there was some really great, like these are on the underground. Oops, hang on a sec. I can't really.
Apparently, I had some advice by some of our other friends up, in Canada, and they're saying make sure if you're going down in a Tesla to put "I am Canadian" on your Tesla, so they don't
All right.
smash your windows out.
That's right. People are literally graffitiing these that terrible, ugly car that he's done. I can't remember the name of it, but it looks like something. There used to be a TV series called Space 1999 or something many years ago, and it's the kind of angular cars that they had. It's just the ugliest thing. Um, so yes, I think there's more pain, Biz. I
Hmm.
think there's more pain. But within that, as you can see here, there are many coins you can trade. If we go to our, let's have a look what's going its own way. Rising well, GLML. Let's have a look at bullish fair value gaps. Cato. Cato is
Hmm.
actually on my list. Let's have a look at Cato. It's there. Yes, that was one where I'm going to say, where am I? That is so. That is one that didn't quite come into my entry, so I missed it. Right?
Well, I mean, it hasn't broken out a structure either, so
No,
potentially
it's
it
not.
still might be able to.
Yes, that's why I've not. But again, this is what I talk about with patience. All right, patience.
I mean, if you drew a trend line from that low to the other low, it kind of, because you see a small lower high if you look.
If we drew this trend line,
Or
well, no, there's no real trend line
no, no,
here.
no. I mean, from like the two, like so the two lows, this at the bottom.
Oh, sorry, hang on a minute. These two
Yeah,
lows.
yeah.
Um,
I mean, it's a slight uptrend, but not
Not
by much.
really. It's exactly where I put my support line. The green line
Oh, okay,
support.
I see. Oh, I see. There. Okay.
So, but it just didn't ping it. And I was probably being too aggressive.
Hmm.
I could have just had it up here. In fact, I could just raise that there like that if it comes back down and change that to be an entry as opposed to support, just so that I know that I've done that right. And just put that there and just move that there. So visually, I can go to different charts and still see my entries, right? That's why I
Hmm.
do it, so that I can see those lines there. So yes, Cato is one that uh, is doing okay. Sol V, another one that's again, Sol V, as you know, is the one that I said I missed,
Hmm.
and because I don't know what I did. Maybe I was eating breakfast. I'm not really sure. But if it gets rejected at that trend line, then it could. I've moved up a little. No, actually, if it comes down quick enough, it'll still get back to my entry. Other than that, I can move my entry up a bit.
Hmm.
Um, but this is the patience of when trading. You don't just leap in. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Have a thesis and stick to your bloody thesis. And as you can see, it's earning profit. Right now, I'm using 6x.
Yeah.
If this works and I go to 20x, then you can literally three times the profit that you're going to get.
Hmm.
Right. So that's how you do it. You build up slowly. Oh yeah, look, it looks like I've missed it. My RV, and I blame you.
Ah,
Um,
man. I
so
blame
well,
the
it might
government. I always blame the government.
Is that really? Well, let's see if it bounces up on because there's a couple of trend lines in play here
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
market. So it might bounce off that trend
That's
line and
right.
go back up. So we'll see. I might again patience. I don't care, Biz. There's always another trade. There's
Hmm.
always another trade. So that's the market, Biz. You know, for now, choppy, possibly more. Well, I think definitely more downside before major upside. You're going to get a bounce, relief bounces, and then more downside. And
Yes, absolutely.
it's just the way it is. And that's the market we're in. But oddly enough, where did I put this? Are we still in a bull market? There's a couple of things I'm going to share with you before we finish.
Yeah.
Um, what the Coin Bureau did a thing, is the bull market over? And this is the key points from the transcript of that video.
Hmm.
The 4-year crypto market is still on track, with altcoins historically pumping 12, 18 months after the Bitcoin halving, meaning the most bullish phase could still be ahead. Global liquidity is increasing,
Hmm.
which should support asset prices. Institutional and retail adoption is slowly improving with spot ETFs, regulatory clarity, and financial institutions launching crypto products. The main missing ingredient is a catalyst to trigger inflows into crypto, such as a nation state or central bank holding BTC as a reserve asset. Not just as they did last Friday, we're going to use the Bitcoin we've got now. And we're going to do research as to whether we can sell gold to buy more Bitcoin, which is what they said. But so there's that. And finally, there was a big, there was a video that ran from Crypto Banter did with about the Bybit hack. And we now know what happened in the Bybit hack.
Oh,
And
okay.
it wasn't Bybit's fault. It was Gnosis Safe's fault.
No way.
Indeed. So, how did they do it? The attackers injected malicious JavaScript code into Safe's front end. Now you're thinking, how can they do that? They did that by they socially engineered to access to Safe's Amazon S3 account. S3 is a kind of storage place that I use it. Many websites store images and JavaScript files there, and they're served from there, right? Like Cloudflare is a CDN, but you can upload files to Amazon S3, and we have lots of them. Our Zazook NFT images are hosted on Amazon S3. Right? It's very, very cheap. So what they did is they managed to get an admin password, and they gained access to the storage, likely through a targeted social engineering attack. And what they did is they injected some JavaScript into that so that even though they were on the real safe site, even though it was telling them that everything's okay, this piece of JavaScript was actually sending it to somewhere else, right? So it was it was like injecting a new address to send it to. Then what they did, they removed this JavaScript. I'm going to say, however, the malicious JavaScript modified the actual transaction in the background, rerouting the funds to the attacker's address without altering the visible transaction details. Let me see. The four signers verified and approved the transaction, unaware of the front end manipulation. The transaction was broadcast with the altered destination address, and within 2 minutes, the attackers restored. What they did is they went back into S3 and deleted their changes to put them back. And it was during the post-attack analysis that they used browser cache files to see the infected code. That's how they found it, right? So, because it was cached within, say, Chrome browser, so they managed to grab that JavaScript and see that's what they'd done. So the takeaway is this attack represents the first large-scale supply chain attack on a major crypto exchange. The Lazarus Group exploited a trusted third-party service, Safe, demonstrating the importance of end-to-end security in crypto infrastructure. So this is Safe's fault, not Bybit's.
Wow.
Yeah, not good for Safe.
Not at all.
So not good if you use multi-signature wallets. Obviously, you and I, they wouldn't be interested in what we do.
Yeah.
But smaller hackers now they know they now
can
know
target some high profile ones now, or like some lesser known profile ones, but they're still.
I cannot believe that their S3 account didn't have 2FA on it.
Oh, wow.
I cannot believe that they did not have 2FA on it. Unless they managed to get their phone and it did have 2FA. I don't know. But anyway, S3 has all these rules. It has like these JSON files which allow you to set up read-write rules and stuff like that. It has the ability to stop what they did, but clearly they've not. They need to learn from it. But anyway, there you go. That's the takeaway. We're still in a bull market, and that's how Bybit was hacked.
Okay.
So very interesting, right?
Yeah.
So let's see what tomorrow brings, Biz. I want to do some trading this afternoon.
Cool.
Have I lost my entry?
Well, we'll see. Maybe a nice little bounce here.
Thanks a lot. I still blame you.
No, hold on. It's not done unless that breaks.
It's got to break down beneath this one, yeah.
Oh no, it's gonna break down. You're right.
Yeah, no, you say that, but we don't give it time. Give it time.
Yeah.
Anyway, it is what it is, right? If I'd missed it, I would have been now just say 1% in profit, right? So I would have moved my stop down to about there now,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I wouldn't have had a losing trade now,
Mm-hmm.
even if it back up, right? But it's come back up before. Let's see if it comes back up again. It's getting higher highs when it comes back up, lower higher lows when it comes back up at the moment. So it might have been right not to enter at that yet.
Yeah.
You know, even though Bitcoin is definitely having a little pullback, it seems to be ignoring it again. So anyway, that's the stream biz. That's the news. Onward and upward. We'll see you all tomorrow.
Cool. All right, guys. Thank you all for watching. I wish I knew who was watching, but we got a couple people watching right now. But yeah, if you guys haven't done so already, give us a follow. Would love to see you guys in our Discord as well. So you can find that on our Twitter profile at
You
Crypto Hub
can,
HQ. And then there on our website, you'll see our link to the Discord, and you can join in from there. And that's it. That's all we have for today. I do have to catch a flight too early tomorrow. So I got to see some lawyers, and but it's just a day trip. So I'll keep you posted, Andy, if we can get the stream going while I'm on travels. Otherwise, I'll be
Okay.
back later in the evening, and we can kick it off then.
Okay.
Cool. All right, guys. Take care and stay safe. And yeah, we'll see you again tomorrow. Peace out.
Happy trading, everyone. Stay safe.